is up, guys? Welcome to the new episode of the Flopbuster Movie Show live with Tony, Gabe, and now Julian. We're going to talk about the Star Wars prequels. But first, we got a lot of other things to do. Julian, thank you for coming on. Gabe, how you doing?
Good. How's everybody doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Julian's excited over there. He's ready.
He is.
Dude, I'm ready. The Schwartz is with me today.
Julian is our go-to for anything like Star Wars related. He's our Star Wars pro, or like, you know.
Yeah, Julian loves Star Wars. We ever since we were kids, he was always the Star Wars guy. I was very casual with it. I liked the prequels were big. I mean, they were really big when we were kids. We actually, when we saw Revenge of the Sith, we saw it at the same time, same day, but you were in another theater.
No, you and Frankie seen it.
You were going.
You guys saw it showing before me, and you guys got fucking lightsaber balloons, and they were out when it was my turn. I didn't get one.
Oh, that's right. The theater had like people doing like lightsaber balloons.
I have an unconfirmed post that Julian dressed up as a Wookiee. Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's 24/7.
All right.
Connor, what's up, man? Connor loves Star Wars. He's a big Star Wars guy. He's a huge prequel defender too. Which I feel like, real quick, we wouldn't do this show if we hated the prequels, because I feel like there would be nothing to say that like everybody else didn't already say and has dunked on with these movies. Because I feel like that was the cool thing for a little bit, was to hate on the prequels. But I guess if we're warning, I think we're all over the spectrum in terms of what we liked and what we disliked. And but I feel like we're all pretty fair with what the prequels are. Gabe, I know you had a couple hot takes, but I think for the most part, we're all kind of I don't know. I don't think we hate them as much as some people do.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this was my entrance. The prequels were my entrance into Star Wars. Like, that's how I got into the Star Wars thing. Is I didn't watch, 4, 5, 6 until much later. I really wanted to not ever watch Star Wars. I have a cousin who's never watched Star Wars. He's like around my age. He's never watched Star Wars, and he refuses to watch them. I figured I was like,
everybody that refuses to watch Star Wars, they like get off on that. They like
it's like people who say like I've never seen Game of Thrones. Like, people get off on saying I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've never seen Star Wars. I've never seen Fast and Furious. I don't know. People get off on never seeing big, popular franchises.
They're missing out. Okay, first, Connor, I got to see that episode 1 hat, man. Is that like a vintage hat? What is going on with that? I used to have the Darth Maul lightsaber. It was a hand-me-down. But the 2 and 3 are the memories that I have with this trilogy, especially 3. I mean, 3, Julian mentioned that us seeing that movie, the video games, the toy line, like everything, it felt like very peak. And we were what, like 9, 10 years old when that came out? Yeah, so like that was the perfect age for us to be marketed.
3 was our first like theater experience with Star Wars.
Yeah. I saw 2 on DVD. My dad rented it from Blockbuster. Did not see 1. I saw 1 in VHS a bunch of times. 1 was the first. Phantom Menace was the first Star Wars movie I had seen. I didn't see New Hope, Empire, or Return of the Jedi until Revenge of the Sith was coming out, and I wanted to watch those 3 before I went to go see the new one. By that point, it was only Phantom Menace. That was the Darth Maul. That's something I want to get into. We'll get into that once we start talking about the movies. But Gabe,
we didn't start talking about the movies yet.
Oh, well, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's backtrack because you got to see a movie. So I want to give you the floor because I have not seen this movie yet. You got to see the new Robert Rodriguez film, Hypnotic. I don't think we ever talked about it.
We didn't. I actually forgot about it. You brought it up earlier this week. You're like, "Oh, are you going to see the new Robert Rodriguez film with Ben Affleck?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Like, yeah, it's Hypnotic. And then I go in and I check the trailer, and I was like, "Oh shit! All right, I'm gonna go see it." And so I saw it this morning. Like, it's getting review bombed. Rotten Tomatoes is like at 38%, and I feel like we're going back to like early 2000s when people were hating on Ben Affleck because he was with J-Lo, and I feel like that's the case again because he wasn't bad. His performance was actually pretty good. The movie, I think I told you, it reminded me of a lot of like Christopher Nolan films, was like sci-fi, like Memento type of situation. Some Scorsese with Shutter Island, but it's Robert Rodriguez's take. So I don't know, it's something different. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Nice. So, what do you get that out of 5? What was your letterbox score?
It was a 4, but only because they don't do like a 3.9.
Oh yeah, you said it was a soft 3.9. I remember you said that.
Yeah.
I am gonna check it out. I'm probably gonna check it out tonight or tomorrow. And it's 90 minutes.
It's 90 minutes, which is what people hated. It's like, oh, how are you gonna do like a Christopher Nolan light film in like 90 minutes? But he wrapped it up nicely in 90 minutes.
We need more 90-minute movies. I'm tired of movies being too long.
Like, yeah, it was a good. I don't know. I think 90 minutes is like a really good runtime for a movie. Sometimes
it's like a normal runtime. That's normally what a movie should be. Is 90 minutes long. People are mad about that with the Super Mario Brothers movie. I thought that was like in, out, done. I'm good. All right, got me all I need. He does the thing with the stars, gets the power up, done.
Over. Mario got you off in an hour and a half. I mean, how much longer did Mario need to get you off for?
Yeah, what more needs to be said?
Right.
That's it. But I still get the Peaches song stuck in my head though.
No, because sometimes I do have that Hispanic accent. It doesn't sound like peaches. It sounds more like beaches. Beaches. Julian, did you see Mario? What did you think of Mario if you saw it?
Mario was pretty rad. I ain't gonna lie. I was expecting very little for a video game movie, but pulled out with a plus.
You say Mario pulls out?
Oh no.
I think Mario was more of a I don't think Mario likes to pull out.
Do you think
Mario never gets in? Mario never gets in because she's always at another fucking castle.
She's always, that's true. And he never, well, I guess when he finally does get it, he's never going to pull out. He's probably, it's like those anime porn pictures that you see on the internet. I bet there's some wild Mario and Peach ones, some crazy ones.
Was that rule 44?
What are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about a website?
No, I'm talking about like the internet rule. Like, isn't it like whatever is on in the internet, there's like a porn counterpoint to it?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, there's got to be. There's got to be something like that. Gabe, what is up? GT, we won't call you other Gabe anymore. We know it's demeaning. Star Wars Episode 1 is the most disappointing thing since my son.
Damn.
Gabe said it's called Rule 34.
Rule 34. There you go. I was off by 10 digits.
Get ready. We're about to defend the Phantom Menace.
Bro.
Wearing my Attack of the Clones shirt today. As a 23-year-old who grew up with the prequels, I'm slowly coming to realize I like Episode 1 more than 5. Whoa.
Damn.
Whoa, crazy. That's a hot take. That's a hot take of Gabe's order. That's a very hot take.
The hot takes are coming in already.
Oh, another thing I want to talk about real quick. I am going to see Hypnotic. It seems pretty cool to me. I like schlocky 90-minute thrillers like that. That sounds perfect. I'm going to go see it. Maybe tonight. Me and you got into it, not with each other, but just in general. We started ranting on the internet about the Beetlejuice news, and I wanted to bring that up on air because I think this is a hot take nobody expected me to have. But we're talking about Star Wars and fandom, and like Julian mentioned Mario, and I want to talk about it for a second. And it is fan service where it just feels like you're spoon feeding the audience and giving them nothing else. And me and you talked about this with Beetlejuice too, and the difference between that and something like a Mario, right? Like Mario, like it spoon feeds you all the video game things, but it does it in clever ways. It's cutely animated. It's 90 minutes. It gives you wanting more for a sequel. We're getting Beetlejuice 2, and a lot of the internet is like losing their minds, very excited about it. And I pointed out that I'm like, why are we like putting Jenna Ortega in roles that like people have been fan casting her in since they found like since
they found her?
Since they found her. Since like, oh, Jenna Ortega, it's kind of like Aubrey Plaza, right? Like she does the I'm goth, I'm like, like the very dry humor kind of thing. And we're pigeonholing her into that sort of area. And Beetlejuice 2 has been in development for like 35 years. At one point, they were going to put him in Hawaii, and it never happened. Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian was a thing that was supposed to happen. Tim Burton hasn't made a good movie since when?
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow, maybe. I'm not going to count Planet of the Apes. We should talk about that movie. Oh man,
Are we counting the Willy Wonkas?
Do you guys like that movie?
Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass.
Sweeney Todd. You know what, Gabe? You're right. Sweeney Todd is that one's pretty good.
I actually just saw that recently, so that's that
actually there's a lot of stuff in there I do like, and I do like Frank and Weenie too. But my thing with this is, do we want to keep seeing movies and big, I guess, nostalgia bait movies where we already know what's going to happen before it happens?
No.
I want to see new stuff. I'm tired of sequels.
They like it. Like the Legacy sequel, which was a cool concept, right? At first, when like Creed did it, where it's like, okay, we have a new character, but Sly's going to be in it as a supporting character, or Top Gun, it's there, but it's about this new cast too, or Halloween. Now it feels like whatever sequel we are getting, it's only Legacy sequels. I don't know. I that's my question, is like, it's all the same story, and it's one.
Listen.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go with your bullet points. Go with your
No. I wanted to bring it up because we talked about it on Twitter, and I'm not trying to rain anybody's parade. I think the movie will be pretty mediocre. Beetlejuice worked in the 80s because of the practical effects, the humor,
right,
the comedy. Like, you just can't do that, and you're not even having half the cast with Gina Davis and the whole Alec Baldwin situation. It just feels weird. Like, but also, what more can you say with that movie? That was a movie made by a guy in his 20s who wanted to make something crazy and wacky and was able to do that with studio money. That's not the same Tim Burton. This is a guy that's kind of made fucking Dark Shadows and Alice in Wonderland. This isn't the same person, and it's just all gonna be, it's not gonna have that same charm. It just feels weird.
Right. No, listen, I when I heard the Beetlejuice news, I was tepid. You know, after we talked, I was like, you know, I got to see your point. What made me mad was when I saw the advertisement for White Man Can't Jump on Hulu.
Oh yeah. This is why we got into the conversation.
This is why we got to the conversation. Because listen, I'm not saying, you know, Sidney Dean and Billy Hoyle, which was played by Woody Harrelson and I forget his
Wesley
name.
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. I'm not saying that movie was perfect, right? As far as like a sports basketball movie, it's damn near perfect. But as like a general movie, it's not perfect. But you're not going to give me like a beat for beats same ass movie. I saw the trailer for it, and it's beat by beat, a paint by numbers, like direct, like
it's pretty much
it's
the same movie.
It's the same thing. Yeah. But now you're getting me Jack Harlow, who's I don't know. I don't like his music. I'm pretty sure he's a pretty shitty fucking actor. Sorry to say. I'm sorry if anybody's a Jack Harlow fan. I'm sorry. Whatever. It's gonna probably be a shitty actor, and then you're setting them up with like somebody else who a no name. And I don't want to shit on nobody, right? Because listen, you're famous, you're in movies because you have to have talent. The same reason why I don't shit on like professional athletes, because obviously you're so much better than I am. You're fucking playing professional basketball, even the bench warmer, right? But I mean, I don't need a beat by beat White Man Can't Jump. Like, give me something new.
So you heard it here first. Gabe will be watching White Man Can't Jump on Hulu next.
I will, because I have a thing. Because here's my thing, and I've told you this because when I've talked about how much I don't like Denzel Washington, and you're like, why, whatever.
I still don't understand that. That's the weirdest hot take that's ever been said.
But here's my thing, right? Is if I don't like something, I'm gonna make sure I don't like it. I'm actually gonna watch it. Like when people were talking about the Ghostbusters, 2016 Ghostbusters.
Let's just settle this. What is your issue with Denzel Washington?
He plays the same fucking role in every fucking movie. 20 years, 30 years worth of career. He's always a fucking cop.
This is Gabe. He says, I hate Denzel Washington. I hate Denzel Washington.
This is my same point.
Gabe, how is that new Denzel Washington movie? Dude, 5 out of 5. One of my favorite movies of the year. 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Denzel is magic in it.
The last good Denzel Washington movie was Training Day. And before that was He Got Game. Everything else has been the same fucking thing. How many Man on Fires is he doing?
Everybody place a bet right here.
Like Man on Fire.
His son right now is a better actor.
Will come out of it giving
John David Washington is better than Denzel.
He's been in like 3 movies.
He's already better than his dad.
lies, and watch, guys.
Black Klansman. I would put
Follow
up Black
Gabe on
Klansman
Letterboxd
over anything his dad has done.
Watch Gabe on Letterboxd, and when the next Denzel movie comes out, which is Gladiator 2, Gabe's gonna come out of that movie, rate it like 5 out of 5, and talk about it's his favorite movie of the year.
Lies.
Hold it to me. Gabe's gonna call Gladiator 2 his favorite movie of next year. Calling it right now.
Lies.
Calling it.
He's gonna play some sort of fucking gladiator cop.
No, he's like training the new Gladiator. He's like training
Gladiator cop.
Yeah.
There you go. Gladiator cop.
Trained. Okay. I am boycotting the show. Hey, I love Denzel Washington, and that's why I'm calling him out. Devil in a Blue Dress is one of my favorite movies. Love Devil in a Blue Dress. And
He Got Game is the best.
You know, He Got Game's pretty sick, pretty great.
And he does Got Game. You know, Ray Allen and him were actually playing 1-on-1, and in the script, it was Ray Allen was supposed to leave him scoreless, like 11-0. But Denzel was like, no, you're not gonna make me go for, I gotta score a point. He actually scored on Ray Allen. Ray Allen got mad.
Some of the best shoes in a movie too. Some of the best shoes. I wanted to mention. Did you hear the rumor? The new rumor. I don't know. No, I don't want to ruin it for the show. But I guess we'll tiptoe around it. Did you hear the Fast and Furious news?
Oh yeah.
That makes me mad.
Hey, Julian. I guess we'll tiptoe around it. But we'll talk about it without talking about it.
Oh. Julian, what'd you think about that news?
I'm mad that it was posted online like a week before the movie came out.
I know. Like that would have been so cool to experience in the actual fucking movie.
Obviously, we're talking about CGI Paul Walker. It's in the next one. No, but I think reading that stuff online kind of I don't know, like that's they want people to go see the movie, so I guess that's one way to go. Hey, come see the movie.
I mean, without the Rock, that movie was making. I said that movie's making $1 billion.
Yeah,
and
and
I think I just spoiled it. Whatever, fuck
you. I think you just did, but we'll no. I just think it's kind of shitty that it was it's all over the internet now. I guess it's not a spoiler. It's in the trades and everything. There's an official statement, but I don't know. I'm still gonna see the movie. And also apparently there's 2 more. It's no longer. It's now a trilogy.
It's now a trilogy. Could you call it a trilogy when you're like fucking 13 installments in?
That's what Vin Diesel says.
Maybe
there's 2 more.
Like a trilogy ending. You got 3 parts, right?
Right. I mean, why not make it 5 more and make it a quinceañera?
By the time Vin Diesel is done with these movies, he's gonna be like 67 years old.
Isn't he already like 50 something?
He's like 50 something years old.
Mid 50s?
Yeah. But he needs a redemption arc after Black Adam. Yeah, that movie sucked, man.
He needs a redemption arc, like you've said in their chats, like even like Jumanji, like he's been taking nothing but else recently.
Those are like his only like hits right now. Jumanji 1 and 2. Other than that, everything he's been pushing is not like
Skyscraper wasn't that good. Jungle Cruise went straight to Disney Plus. Shit. I mean,
Black Adam was in the works for 10 years.
Right.
Live action Moana.
Oh yeah, he's doing live action Moana. He's reaching the bottom of the barrel. Actually, he's like going back to the well. Like, what do people love me in? And I'll just do that. We never talked about that. Moana is having a live action remake. Like, what, 7 years after the original movie? 8 years after the original movie? When did Moana come out? 2016?
I don't know. I watched it, but I don't know the years. You guys are the Disney guys. You guys go to Disney every year.
Oh, we're going to Disney. We're going this year. Julian's finally going to ride Rise of Resistance.
Yeah.
We're going to do it.
Are you guys going to buy matching lightsabers?
No, those are like $300.
I'm not buying a lightsaber again.
So
I am buying a tunic, though. I'm definitely buying a tunic. I don't care. I'll wear that thing every day.
Dude, I want to see you in a tunic. Like, are you wearing underwear underneath the tunic, or are you going like commando?
Oh, wait, there's no underwear in space.
There's no underwear.
There's your answer. There's no underwear in space. In space, nobody wears underwear. Nice. Okay. I guess we got some news out the way. We talked about Fast and Furious. We talked about the Beetlejuice stuff. Things that don't really matter.
Let's talk about our new sponsor here now. We got Squirt, which goes good with tequila.
Yeah,
just sure. Tequila and Squirt. Call it a Paloma.
Sure.
Good stuff.
Okay, let's talk about the prequels. What we came here for.
Prequels. Let's talk Phantom Menace.
We want to talk. Let's go around and give our general thoughts. Julian, what do you think of the Phantom Menace?
Phantom Menace. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, and you got Darth Maul right behind you too. What about you, Gabe? What did you think upon this rewatch?
Upon rewatch, I think it's solid. I think it's more geared towards kids. I think I told you. I think it comes across as like a kids movie.
It does, yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5, and I'm knocking it just because I'm obviously older than both of you. So I remember the like marketing campaign for this, and they were pushing Darth Maul to like no fucking end. Like Darth Maul was everywhere, and yeah, in this movie he was there for a good like 5 minutes.
He is not in the movie very long, and by the time they introduce him, it's got to be what, that 1 hour mark at that point.
Right, like you're like, so like that's the only reason why I'm knocking it. I could get behind the fucking kids, sci-fi movie. That's cool. You got Shark Boy and Lava Boy, whatever.
Shark Boy and Lava Boy,
whatever.
What movie is that? Shark
Boy and Lava Boy. It's the Dollar Tree version.
It's the version that Gabe saw. Like he picked
Dollar
up
Tree.
From some guy at like on the
flea market. I was
at Shark Boy and Lava Boy.
I was on the Swap-O-Rama on 47th Street and Western. We were like, hey. No, but yeah, I mean, it's a freaking kids, action, science, action, adventure film, and it totally plays like a little kids movie.
Yeah, it's weird because as a kid, like I feel like as kids you don't realize like people don't like the movies you like, or there's grown men that are very passionately hating the thing that you like, you buy toys for or whatever that is. And it felt like that with Star Wars, where it's just like, oh yeah, I really like the Phantom Menace as a child. Like I didn't really think much of it. I just thought it was cool. Thought the lightsaber fights were great. The pod race, all right, like it. I haven't seen this movie probably in like 15 years or so. So like this is my first time sitting down, rewatching it. All I know since that time is that the internet claims, or at one point did claim, this was the worst Star Wars movie. One of the worst movies ever made, depending on who you ask, and it pissed off many fanboys. This is probably the movie that created the toxic fanboy. They gave a child death threats. They gave death threats to like a 9-year-old who isn't even bad in this movie.
He's not. Jake Lloyd is actually didn't.
I don't know what more you can ask for a kid. I mean, and plus George Lucas, the dialogue he gives him isn't that great to begin with, too. So it's like he's doing his best.
They ruined Jake Lloyd's career, man. He had Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way, yeah.
And then that was it, man. The dude's fucking jail right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he don't do anything. I don't know what he does.
Little known fact though is like Julian was the biggest like anti Jake Lloyd at the time. He was the one sending most of the threats.
Yeah, it was Julian. He probably would have been like 3.
Fucking Jar Jar Binks. What the fuck were you thinking, George?
This movie, speaking of Jar Jar,
I like Jar Jar though. I don't mind people hate Jar Jar. I like Jar Jar.
I don't mind Jar Jar.
Racist, but I like Jar Jar.
He's a good character, but without him, the effects of the movie still remain the same. Like he had no major role in the movie.
That is true. Besides leading them into the underwater city, that's really about it. He's there for comedic relief and racism. This movie has a lot of racial stereotypes. That's the one thing in here where I'm like, ooh, that doesn't hold up. There's a big Jewish stereotype. There's a big Chinese stereotype. And it's just like, well, they're aliens. So like, who cares? Nobody's going to notice this, but it's there. It's 100% there. It's like, oh man, I can't believe I didn't notice this before. I thought this movie, even with all its flaws, and I don't think it's the worst Star Wars movie. I think having, at this point, with all the Star Wars content we've gotten, I think that ship has kind of sailed. I think this movie is kind of refreshing watching it now. And it is very flawed. And there's a lot of bullshit about like the Federation and all that stuff going on and the political crap. But putting that aside, I think Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson are awesome in this movie. Qui-Gon Jinn was like, I felt like as a kid, it was Qui-Gon and Darth Maul was all the talk with this movie. Like that was the coolest stuff that people always talked about. But I do think a lot of the effects are fun. They're very cartoonish. I don't know if they hold up, but I think they work. Jake Lloyd is, he's a kid. There's not much more you can ask from him. But the pod race is very cool. I think the last battle is also very cool. Darth Maul isn't used a ton, but I did like the lightsaber fight between him and Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson went out like a chump.
Well, he was one with the Force, man. They set it up. Yeah, that's the one thing I will say. George Lucas, these movies are very consistent in terms of the story they tell, like from film to film. Like if you were to read it on like a piece of paper, like what the story is, like it reads like something that flows, unlike, I don't know, like the latest movies, right? Like where it's like everybody's doing their own thing. And by the time you get to Rise of Skywalker, nobody knows, like, I don't know, the Emperor comes back. And that's it. Whereas this movie, it's like leading into the next one and the next one. What happens? Not executed to the best effect, but it works.
So it's like Star Wars, like the first, like one of like the first like MCU world building ones with these.
I guess George was ahead of the curve with that. He really did like set up. Okay, this will pay off in this movie, and
because you talked, because you talked about homework, right? So you have to watch like the cartoon shows and then like the TV shows, and then
I feel like that's in hindsight though. Like the extended canon came from like the guys that do the Clone Wars or the Bad Batch,
and then there was like the books, right?
All the books, which is like people, they love it. And they go, if you read this, it'll tie into this. But I feel like as a casual viewer who's probably never going to read any of that, I'm probably never going to read that stuff. Not that I'm against it. I just don't think I'll have time. I'll probably, maybe I'll watch the Clone Wars. Who knows? But as somebody who's just went back and I'm like, as a casual viewer, because I've always been a casual Star Wars fan, how I like these prequels, I feel like they're fun. Like I didn't really have much of a hot take besides that, other than I don't think any of these three are the worst Star Wars movies. The Phantom Menace will always be my heart. Top 5 Star Wars for me. Oh, there you go. Also, Travis said he's waiting for the Mummy Return of the Scorpion King to be announced.
Ooh, I would watch that.
I want the rundown. I want the rundown part 2. That's what I want. The through line.
No.
Yes, 100%. The through line of the Star Wars stories across all the films is amazing to me. Say what you will about the dialogue, but from 1 through 6, it is. I do think they set up a lot of stuff that like it feels like it's very fitting, especially I would say in this film and the third one. Once we get to the third one, they do set up a lot of stuff that is just like, okay, I see what's going on here. The second one, which I guess we could jump to the second one, is like more. It's all exposition dump. It's like all information in the first hour. It's just like, and Gabe, I know you found this one
boring.
You found this one to be pretty boring.
I like fell asleep. Like first time I watched this one, I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. Like I get it, I'm getting all like the mythos of Star Wars, right? But upon rewatch here just today, I was like, at some point, I just fucking like snoozed. I woke up, I'm like, oh shit, they're still talking about shit.
I fell asleep too. I'm not gonna
do you like this movie, Julian? Do you like Attack of the Clones, or are you just like kind of on
it? It's so cheesy. I can't. I don't like sand.
Right. I thought it was cool because we had like freaking what's his face? His dad was in there. Boba Fett's dad.
Oh yeah, with the clones. All the Obi-Wan stuff is really cool. Like his story, his side quest is good.
You have Natalie Portman running through. That was also good.
She's at her peak in terms of like she's good in these movies. But so the
peak Natalie Portman.
I want to get this out the way because I think I did enjoy all 3 of these to some extent. Like I felt like if I had to rank them, I felt like I had the most Phantom Menace, but I feel like Revenge of the Sith might be the best of the 3 just as a movie. It's probably the best made. 2, I didn't mind. It is a lot of exposition dump, but I thought the second half of 2 with the battle at the end, I thought all that stuff was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, the ending of 2, I was having a blast with it. It takes a while to get there, but I enjoyed everything with Obi-Wan. Anything with Anakin. I think Hayden Christensen is not very good in these movies. I think he's pretty dull in 2 and 3.
He's like the original fuckboy. He's like the Star Wars fuckboy.
I guess he is. He's kind of an incel in this movie. in both 2 and 3. He's very horny and repressed, and he's mad at the Jedi for making him horny and repressed. And that's why he turns to the dark side.
I mean, I would turn to the dark side if I was horny and repressed.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Was he horny though?
He was very horny.
Oh, come on.
He didn't do just the men. He did the women and children too.
He said he hadn't,
Listen, like I told Tony, fuck them
for
kids.
about 10 years. He did fuck up those kids.
Fuck them kids.
For something that's PG-13, they go into it like he's just like fucking slicing and dicing.
Real shit.
What do you rate this movie, Julian? Here, what do you rate the?
Revenge or Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Oh man, Attack of the Clones is at the bottom of my list of all the movies. I gotta say, out of all like 9 story-based movies, it's number 9.
Damn.
I wouldn't even go that low. I wouldn't go that low. I don't think, again, I do see where a lot of it seems boring. And I think the stuff Anakin and Padme don't have, like on paper, it sounds cool, like a romance blossoming, right? Like I like romance. I like when characters are about to fuck in every scene. Like I like sexual, I like that stuff. It doesn't work with them. And it's because George Lucas isn't very good at writing that stuff.
They don't have any chemistry though. Like if you watch Hayden and Natalie, like I felt like there was no chemistry between them. Like it wasn't jumping off screen.
Right. On paper, if you wrote that out and said, okay, Padme and Anakin, they fall in love and their side story would be their love story. And while that's happening, Obi-Wan's going to discover all the Clone Wars shit. Like, yes, that sounds amazing. It's the execution that doesn't work. And it's the casting of Hayden Christensen. Right. I sound like a hater. Hayden Christensen, again, he's not very good in either of these movies. he's very stiff and one note, and he's pissed off. And it seems like that's the only direction George Lucas gave him, who's very famous for working with actors. Off. Yeah, that's true. But George Lucas was, he's very George Lucas is good at working with actors that know what they're doing. So like you have Ewan McGregor or Jimmy Smits, and it's like, oh yeah, those guys rule in this. And you have Hayden Christensen, who's more of a newcomer, and just like, he's not really working. And he's supposed to be the thing that works the most. So I don't know. I would give this movie, I'm pretty middle of the road, but the last act of it, I thought was really, really, I had a really good time with it. So I would probably say, if I had to rate it, maybe 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
very low 3 out of 5.
I like it. It's just the whole the first movie, Anakin was a fucking kid, and then the next movie, I mean, Padme is still the same age, and then
that's the weird thing, is Padme, much older is she? 3 years, 4
years? Yeah, so I saw that. I looked this up because I thought it was weird, right? So in the first one, Jake Lloyd's 9 years old, right, and she's supposed to be 14, so she's the queen at 14 years old. So then between Phantom Menace and the Clones, it's 10 years. So now he's 19, maybe coming on 20, and she's 24.
Okay. She's a diddler. She's a diddler. I mean, it's as simple as that. Wild take about Attack of the Clones there, Julian. That's what Connor says. I could say, it seems like, if you were to ask me a while ago, I probably would have said the same thing. I would have said, oh yeah, Attack of the Clones is probably my least favorite. But I think with watching all the movies now in recent memory, I don't think it's at the bottom for me. I found it more interesting watching than anything because it feels like it does give you a lot of information. But again, I really enjoyed the last act, and I thought Christopher Lee was cool. It was just a cool addition to Star Wars.
I hated Christopher Lee. Are you kidding me?
What kind of hot take is that? Why?
He moved so fucking stiff. I thought that was fucking.
That's what's cool. I
thought that was fucking Nosferatu over there moving.
Well, that's fucking. That's Dracula.
Oh man.
He's
really alone.
What do you want Dracula to move like?
He was 200 in that movie.
I don't know.
Leave him alone.
This is stiff. This is fuck. It's fucking Walking Dead zombies over there, just fucking walking he has no fucking movement to him. It's oh shit, I got fucking back surgery or some shit.
You know what I will say though? Out of the 3, I feel like the imagery in this movie sticks in my head more. There's a lot of really weird things that he does in this from a visual point of view. The city that they're in, the nightlife. It's almost 90% CGI out of the 3. The first one has some practical effects and Not even really the third one, but this one has like some really interesting, almost cartoon-like shit going on. So I don't know. I found it more like it was interesting to watch more than anything. I don't think it's the worst, but it was fun. It was fun enough. And I guess all that there is to talk about is the conclusion. Which Julian, what do you think about Revenge of the Sith? What does it hold up for you?
I watch it almost once a month. There's no way I'm not watching it if it's on.
See, I feel like from Star Wars fans, it's always going to hold up.
Once a month? That's a lot.
Maybe I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but it's like I watch that final battle scene just on a YouTube clip. You know, I still cry.
He does it. He plays the song, well, like he's getting ready and stuff.
The Imperial March.
It's on my gym workout playlist.
What is it? What is that track called again? I feel like it's not the Imperial March. Is the track of Fury of? Is it the Duel of the Fates? Duel of the
Fates. Duel of the Fates.
You remember that video of the kid in the mop closet and he's playing Duel of the Fates and he's like doing shit with a broom or whatever? Have you guys seen that video? It's like old.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I think Duel of the Fates is the Darth Maul. Fuck, I don't remember. Nope, I don't remember. Never mind.
Damn it, dude! You were supposed to be our Star Wars guru.
I don't do soundtrack stuff, man.
Where's the guy that mop guy? Star Wars. Where the fuck is? Oh, the Star Wars kid. Is this it?
Show us your video.
Oh, it's. Well, I'm trying to find the Star Wars one, but it's like gone. Unless.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like
it's this kid. But there's a cut where somebody adds Duel of the Fates.
Oh yeah,
him doing that, and I think it's probably off the internet.
Duel of the Fates is Darth Maul.
What?
Oh, there's one version of it. But anyway, every time I think of Revenge of the Sith, I just think of that.
I would say this one's like the second best out of the first three.
Is Phantom Menace the first best for you?
For me, yeah. Phantom Menace is like, I just thought coming in as a newbie in like 2012, 2013 when I watched them, Phantom Menace just grabbed my attention the most. I think it's the pod racing, the start of Darth Vader.
Yippee! Battle of Heroes is what plays during Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Okay, thank you, Connor. Another top 5 Star Wars movie, and one of those nerds that cries during the whole Order 66 scene. This movie's kind of depressing. It's just very much a downer. It's just like, I don't know, life sucks in the Star Wars universe. Everything's shitty. You know who else gets it pretty terrible is Mace Windu. Pretty horrible death, man. Oh.
Nah, you know what? It's his fault. He's such a bitch to Anakin the whole movie. It's his fault. He gets it. He gets what he deserves.
It's like overkill.
Well,
he gets
electrocuted. How much bank does Samuel Jackson make though from Star Wars and Avengers, and he's just fucking making bank with these franchises.
And it's funny because
I heard he's coming back.
Is Mace Windu?
I heard Mace Windu's not dead yet.
Hey, he might come back. You never know. Everybody comes back. In every movie ever, everybody comes back. There's no dying in the movies, all right? Everybody comes back. Look at the Fast and Furious. Nobody ever dies in those movies. Mace, it's funny with him.
Except Paul Walker. Paul Walker's dead.
He's dead.
Well, not in the movie, though.
Oh, not in the movie, yeah. Mace Windu, the creation of that happened because Sam Jackson wanted to be in those movies. Like, he wanted to be in a Star Wars movie, and then George Lucas created that character just for him to be in the movie, which I think it's the same thing with Nick Fury. Nick Fury was drawn as a white man, but in the Ultimate Comics, somebody had heard Nick Cage wanted to be Nick Fury, so they drew him in Marvel Ultimates as Nick Fury. And then he ended up becoming Nick Fury for the movie. So it's weird how he ties into all these. He's just got to do DC next now. So
no.
I don't know who he'd be.
Nobody wants to do DC anymore.
Black Lightning. Sam Jackson is Black Lightning.
Black Lightning, Static Shock. He could be Static Shock. Episode 3 is to be a bummer for the title of A New Hope to work. Yeah, it's true. That is true. One issue of episode 2 is it seems George Lucas knew the film wasn't working pacing-wise, so he adds in endless, pointless action sequences, which only make the film work less. The one I felt like that with was the when Anakin's like jumping through the air from car to car, and the cars are flying, and that sequence went on for a while.
The whole opening scene.
Yeah, one of the opening scenes, when they're protecting Padme. Attack of the Clones might have the third best act. I think the third act of that movie is really good. Like it's really, really good. The scene most people sing off for Hayden's bad acting is his confession to Padme about the Tuscans, which I actually think is a very powerful. That scene I thought was pretty fucked up. We didn't even talk about that episode 2 where he gets revenge for his mom. Like it's stuff like that works. I don't know. I just don't think he was I feel like if they could go back, maybe cast somebody else as Anakin. Maybe Leonardo DiCaprio, who he was supposed to be, I'm pretty sure, was up for Anakin in these movies. At one point, he had talked about it, and then he just didn't do it.
Damn.
Yeah, I think that was like a thing he was attached to. He was tiptoeing around it, but never actually. I don't think any talks happened. But with this movie, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in Revenge of the Sith, right? Like it's Order 66. It's George Lucas setting up and paying off everything from the previous films. One of the things that I thought was kind of funny that they do right away is they kill Christopher Lee in like the first 10 minutes of the movie. Like immediately. Like he's pretty much the villain of the second one. Completely dismantle him in the first 5 minutes.
Good thing I didn't have to see his acting anymore.
What is wrong with his acting? I don't understand. I feel like you just have a hot take ready in the chamber. What actor am I going to hate on? Let me hate on the acclaimed actors. It's not even bad actors Gabe hates. It's acclaimed actors. It's Denzel Washington. What's next? You don't like Meryl Streep?
I don't like the look of her face, but whatever.
I bet you like Mamma Mia. Everybody loves Mamma Mia.
I've never seen it. I don't do musicals.
Well, let's watch Mamma Mia 1 and 2.
No, thank you.
Let's do it.
Yeah, the second one's good. I watched the second one in theater.
It's good. No. It's good. Gabe, no. We have to do it.
We're not doing it.
We're not doing it. It's more than a musical.
We get one veto a month, and I'm using my veto for Mamma Mia.
No, it can't be a veto on this. Mamma Mia 1 and 2. They're like the easiest movies to watch.
Bro, we barely get enough viewers for fucking Star Wars, and then you want to bring in fucking Mamma Mia?
I bet you it'll be the most watched episode.
We'll get like negative fucking views on that shit.
I'm telling you right now. We'll lose Mamma Mia will be the most watched episode of all time.
Lies.
We could talk about other things in the episode. We could run down the news. We could rant about, whatever it is you want to rant about. But at some point in the show, we would have to talk about Mamma Mia 1 and 2.
No.
It sounds like you're very close to it. You're very close to saying yes. Like you're interested in a way.
I mean, if we do like a broad spectrum of like musicals, then okay, I may be persuaded to do it, talk about like Rock of Ages or fucking whatever, maybe.
Okay, we'll workshop that idea. Travis got a ranking for us. He's got a ranking. What's his ranking? Unpopular ranking: 9-2 Solo, Rogue One, 5-1 3-8 7-4 6.
Yeah, that's just all wrong, man.
That's a crazy ranking. Solo at number 3.
Very underrated.
I do like Solo. I feel like Solo was a good. It was good. Like, do I think it could have been better? I'm curious to see what the other version of it is. The one that apparently was more comedic that they had completely scrapped from the Jump Street guys. But as is, I enjoy that movie. I think it's really good. Padme never had a family, so Anakin gives her a chance to be maternal. Anakin's devotion to saving his mother being part of what makes Padme attracted to him. Yeah, but also
I thought Padme was attracted to him since he was like 9 years old.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
What's up, you little 9-year-old? You looking fly, you?
Because she wanted to be his mommy.
Ooh. You want Chi-Chi?
The only thing in Star Wars that I can say I genuinely dislike is actually Rise of Skywalker, which I already ranted about, I feel like last week or whatever, or a couple weeks ago.
Why do you hate that movie so bad for?
Why do I hate that movie? Because it's everything I explained why I dislike sequels lately.
I've never seen it.
At the beginning, when I talked about we keep spoon feeding the audience, what happens with The Last Jedi, which I don't even have strong feelings about. I thought it was fine when I saw it in theaters, and then on the internet, became this huge thing. Everybody fucking you either love it, it's the greatest Star Wars movie ever made, or it's the worst Star Wars movie ever made. I walked out of it and I'm like, well, I thought the Luke stuff was cool. I like the practical effects. I thought the ending was great. Excited to see where it goes. Does nothing in the last movie to even address what happens in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I hate that they have nothing planned. But my opinion, there's only one thing I really hate about all three of those movies is I really hate Rey. Her character is just dumb. It's dumb.
You know, they don't do anything with her character either, though. They set up. They don't even set up anything. They hint at that she may be nobody or she may be somebody, but they play this mysterious thing because nobody behind the scenes knew what the fuck she was going to be, and they also set up Finn to be something, but they don't even.
Oh, we'll see. They're coming back. Apparently, there's a big time jump, and she's like pregnant and all that.
She's gonna be older. Yeah, they're doing the time jump thing. They're doing
coming back.
Yeah, they're doing a Rey spinoff. Yeah, where she's older and she's gonna be. I don't know what version they're gonna do, but at one point they were gonna have her be like 60, and they were thinking Helen Mirren to play Rey. But I know now they're gonna actually bring back Daisy Ridley and just age her up, whatever that's gonna be.
They're gonna start like the whole new like Jedi Order.
Dude,
hopefully,
I didn't even watch the last Star Wars
comes back as a Jedi. Hopefully, we'll see.
But this was my problem with Rise of Skywalker. It's like, oh, everybody's really mad at us for that last movie. In the opening crawl, let's beg for forgiveness. Let's beg for forgiveness in the opening crawl, and then in the movie, we'll apologize every 5 minutes for the last movie until we give them what they begged for. And they start off with the dead speak, and for no reason at all, the Emperor is back. And
that's exactly what they say too. The Emperor's back somehow.
Somehow it feels like something out of Spaceballs, where it feels like they didn't know what to do, and I knew he was going to be back from the trailers. I had a feeling like they're going to bring him back, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
it's going to be the dumbest reason, and it was the dumbest reason. And by the end of the movie, it is just the ending of Return of the Jedi. Although the moment where she hears all the past Jedi speak to her, feeling the Force, I like it.
That didn't do it. That could have been so much better. They could have done the ending so much better.
And a better
the Force Ghost. All right, Rey should have died. All right, I think Ben should have been the one to live. First of all, the whole fucking "Who are you?" Rey Skywalker, get the fuck out of here! Shut the fuck up, bitch.
What happened to nobody? No one. They said she's nobody, and now suddenly she's related to Palpatine, and man,
they show Luke and Leia's like Force Ghost in the end. It was like, where the fuck is Ben at? You know, he came back. You know,
another thing they didn't do anything with those movies is the Knights of Ren stuff, which they hyped up in the marketing of the first movie hard. And I'm like, man, that looks badass. It's a theme. Captain Phasma, nothing. Like these movies set up characters that look badass and do like Darth Maul.
They had him in the movie too. Like they showed him, and it's like for a couple of scenes. And the ending, they had that little like fight scene against like Kylo, and that was it. Really,
yeah.
Like, they didn't do anything. I was hoping for like a flashback, like show him like killing all the fucking Jedi, like at Luke's new like Jedi temple or something, you know. But they didn't show shit. Show him like killing Grogu. I know they killed Grogu in that bitch.
Definitely killed Grogu. 100%. They 100% killed Grogu. Gabe, you have. Wait, I'm sorry. Lost in the haze of us ranting about that movie. You said you haven't seen Rise of Skywalker?
Nope.
You should watch it. I'm curious to see what you think of it.
I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna like take that like everybody. I feel like Disney ruined Star Wars with the movies in a sense. Like I was excited.
Like too much content or
too much content. Sort of like what they're doing with fucking Marvel. Like too much content, right? And it's like I don't know. Maybe I'm burnt out from Star Wars, but I felt like as bad as you say George Lucas's writing or dialogue is, and like the first three, I felt like it was still his pet project, and he still put in so much love.
He has an interesting vision, right? Like
right. And then when Disney took over
technology forward.
Yeah, and then Disney took over, and then 7, 8, and 9 just seemed like this, I don't know, corporate polished job. Like it just doesn't feel like it has like the same heart as 1 through 6 do. Right.
Oh, Travis said his ranking was worst to best. So it was those movies in reverse order. Now that makes sense. I was confused. I was like, "Huh, that's a really interesting ranking." Now that makes sense. I don't think that's a. Oh yeah,
Okay.
no, I don't. I mean, I like Solo, but I definitely think, yeah, that's not. It's not all that bad of a ranking. It's not that controversial.
Solo's top 5 for me.
I would be down for a sequel to Solo. I like Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. I thought he was good. I actually love the idea of Rey and feel for Daisy, but I can't forgive their treatment of the original characters and their lack of care for quality. I think that's. Listen, I think if they would have stuck to the original plans, who knows? I think that last movie could have paid off in some good ways. But everything felt reactionary. They set up something really good with Force Awakens and JJ. I had a lot of fun in that theater. I know most people did. It felt new, and it's a legacy sequel that kind of repeats some things, but at the same time, you're having so much fun with the new characters and the settings that it works. Last Jedi is controversial. I mean, but like I feel like if you're doing a second movie in trilogy, you got to be controversial. You set up something for the fans to be divided over, and then you rein everybody together for that third movie. Unfortunately, they couldn't do that.
Right.
And then everything pre-Disney has the heart of the post-Disney stuff lacks. Yeah, well, that's Gabe. You mentioned that with George Lucas. I mean, we could talk about like, yeah, he's not very good at writing certain space dialogue or whatever that is. Like the characters feel wooden, and there's a reason for that. He was definitely more interested in the visual aspects, especially technology and everything with ILM and how the movie would look, the CGI. Like that was something that he was definitely 100% more interested in. But it still feels like a George Lucas movie. It feels like his vision, 100%.
Right.
And right now, it just feels like there's like so many hands in the cookie jar, Star Wars wise. You got stuff with Andor, which I know people love, but that's more like adult driven and like grounded and gritty. I didn't like. There's Obi-Wan, which I don't remember much. I watched it and it kind of like slipped away from my memory very quickly.
I don't like Andor.
You didn't like Andor? Oh, you're the minority. You
Why?
didn't like Andor.
Why didn't you like Andor?
Oh, that's a hot take. Hot take.
Tell me, as a person who hasn't watched Andor.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about that show.
I don't know. You know what? It just wasn't for me. It was just like a.
Julian wants Jar Jar. He wants Jar Jar.
You know what? There was just nothing. There was.
It's not really. I watched the first.
It didn't feel like a Star Wars thing,
and
you know.
It's more of like a political, like a espionage, like intrigue kind of series, right? Like there's nothing really like heavily Star Wars about it. It feels like a very grounded spy show. But Diego Luna, from the first few episodes I watched, he was very good in it, much like how he was in Rogue One.
He did a great job, but I didn't really like the whole overall idea of Andor.
You didn't mention
something else.
Jar Jar, the spinoff.
Guys, I forgot to mention though, there are Hispanics in space because we had Jimmy Smits in the second one.
Yes, we did. Jimmy Smits. He's stuck around, huh? He's kind of done a few cameos in the Star Wars stuff. Yeah. He loves it. He must love doing Star Wars.
He was in Rogue One, and he was in the Kenobi show.
Yeah, he was in Kenobi. He was in Rogue One. That was the thing about the Kenobi show was like there was stuff that I liked in it. Like I think Ewan is like, you know, come on, like he's great. He's great as Obi-Wan. He's so watchable, especially in the first three. Like he's got the best bits. Like you want to follow his character. In Kenobi, it was like, okay, I'm watching this because I like his performance, but the story was kind of meh. Like it was
depressing.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, here's a random adventure he had with Leia that you never knew about that apparently existed when she was like 9. Here's apparently he fought Vader again, but he's like afraid to fight him. I don't know. It was just like like maybe this could have worked as a movie. I'm not sure as a show. And I think that's the last one I watched in full, though. I haven't finished Andor. I got to go back and rewatch it, see if it's for me.
You watched the newest Mandalorian season?
No, I haven't watched season 3.
You haven't watched? Fuck.
Is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah, it's okay. Let's just say that Bo-Katan can sit in my face if she wants to.
Hey, your wife's right next to you.
Is she? Is Jessica there?
Yeah, she is right next to me.
Maybe she agrees with him. You never know. Kathleen Kennedy is worse than the Warner Brothers.
Jessica's also like, she could sit on my face too at the same time.
Oh, damn. Connor, I got to disagree with that. I don't think so. I think Kathleen Kennedy has been dealt kind of a bad hand. I think, obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of the Star Wars stuff, but I think she's not. I don't know if she's as bad as the.
I don't know. I've heard that like she promises shit and then never delivers on shit that she promises because
like every studio head. But also,
but I heard that Disney handcuffs her a lot. You know, she gets
I don't
fucking
think
cuffed by Disney.
I think they need. I think people need somebody to be mad at when they see these things. So like, she's a very easy target to be like angry with when like stuff with The Last Jedi went wrong and the Solo reshoots and whatever it is, or any like the Boba Fett movie getting canceled.
Could we
like,
just not give J.J. Abrams any more fucking projects to do?
We don't talk about J.J. Abrams. He's a fucking Trekkie. We don't talk about him.
Well, no, even the Star Trek shit is like getting to be lame. Like how many we promised another Star Trek movie for like what 15 years?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. Hey, I like the Chris Pine ones. I don't know shit about Star Trek.
Those were good.
Those are good.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
That's why he's a fucking Trekkie. He does fucking Star Wars. He's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck these movies up. So Star Trek movies are fucking nice.
Well, you know what though?
If you ask
us, you know, it's funny that you say that. Star Trek fans hate J.J. Abrams. They think he fucked up Star Trek too.
Because he sort of did. Like you give, he like did like 2 good movies, and then this promise of this third one that's been like 15 years in the making. Like the entire cast doesn't even know.
There is a third Star Trek
or
movie.
The 4th one, whatever. There's supposed to be another Star Trek.
How many are there?
He did 2, and then they did a 3rd one, but it was a different director. The 3rd one's really good. Idris Elba's the bad guy in that. That one's really, really. It's probably my favorite one out of those.
Damn, I never watched that one.
There's supposed to be a 4th one, but you ask Chris Pine, you ask Zoe, and you ask everybody else. They're like, I don't know what's going on with it.
They're not sure. They're not sure what's going on with that. Yeah, those movies have a weird like life because they did well in theaters. People like them. They're fun. Blockbuster. Again, I don't know anything about Star Trek, but I went into all 3 of those movies, and I felt like they were very clear in their story, and the action was good. Is that it? Is that what that is?
Those no, she doesn't need no more money. Okay, she's banking on so much shit right now. She don't need no more. All right.
I don't think Zoe Saldana wants to do movies anymore where she plays aliens or does stuff in space.
She said that she's done doing big franchises, which okay.
She's got Avatar money. They have like 4 more sequels coming out.
Right. Yeah.
She's good.
She's good.
Okay. Am I to understand that you guys have decided that the prequels are not that bad? Yeah. Like I don't think I ever was going to come in here hating on them though. I know Julian was, and I know you love these movies. Like I think you maybe a part of you knows. Oh, okay, there's some bad stuff in here, but you'll still like them. I think Gabe went in here with an open mind. Like I don't know. Like these are. I think at the end of the day, like when I look at these kind of blockbusters from that time period, they feel a bit more well thought out than films we've been getting lately. Like at least they're memorable. I remember all the things I watched in these.
Right. For the most part, I feel like we're gonna be. Yeah, I was gonna say that Denzel Washington as Finn. I would guarantee that I would never watch another Star Wars.
He doesn't even know why he hates Denzel Washington. But if you ask Gabe, oh, what do you think of this movie? Oh, I like that movie. Oh, Denzel's in it. Like,
what movie? Know. I've seen.
Okay, let's name off some Denzel movies and let's see just be honest what your genuine thoughts are on these movies.
Name them.
Okay, Philadelphia, Tom Hanks. Have you seen it?
Yeah, as a kid. I remember watching it as a kid.
You can't even give an opinion on it because who knows? Maybe you're homophobic as a kid. So maybe little homophobic Gabe hated Philadelphia.
Remember Tom Hanks was in that. They were whatever.
Yeah, he's got the AIDS in the movie.
He got the AIDS. He got the HIV.
Defends him.
Yeah, and Denzel's a lawyer. Again, in the judicial system.
Okay, let's see. Out of Time.
Never seen it.
Okay, so you haven't seen that one. Huh, interesting.
Right.
American Gangster.
I don't know. Like 2.5 out of 5?
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
Okay,
he's
bullshit.
Lying. He's lying to our audience. People.
Okay.
He is lying to you. When was the last time you watched American Gangster?
when it first came out in theaters. Because I thought, because fucking the Jay-Z soundtrack, like fucking Jay-Z soundtrack,
Okay,
I'm gonna go fucking watch American Gangster.
This was your era where you were very much like, I hate everything. So who knows? Maybe your opinion will change.
I was listening to fucking Jay-Z. How the fuck am I hating everything?
What does Jay-Z have to do with Denzel? Oh,
because Jay-Z did the fucking soundtrack to American Gangster. He had a whole fucking album called American Gangster.
He did do that. He did do something with that movie, didn't he?
Yeah.
Kathleen made promises to George with the sale and taking over Lucasfilm as soon as he wasn't involved. She threw everything out. She was behind the script changes and the sequels. I mean, but it's like hearsay, though, right? Like nobody knows. Like nobody actually knows. It's
Kathleen knows.
Maybe she knows, but it's like the same thing with Warner Brothers Discovery. Like I could sit here and I could talk shit about that guy, but at the end of the day, I have no idea what's going on.
We talk shit about SoundCloud all the time.
Dave Filoni's in. He's fixing it. We're all good.
He's fixing it. Hey, he put Elvis in theaters, right?
Dave Filoni, and we got Kevin, whatever his last name is.
Dave Filoni's the guy that's in charge of like all the extended stuff, right? Like cartoons and the TV shows, like
a lot of like the animation stuff, and I think he helped out with Mando a little bit.
Yeah, like he helped on Mandalorian with Jon Favreau. So I'm like, to me, like when I see the Kathleen Kennedy stuff, I'm like, I don't know, she's like a studio head. Like she's had a great career producing. Like I know people say she's ruined Star Wars, and I understand it. Like if there is things that she ruined, but like she also produced some incredible films before she was even involved in being the studio head of Lucasfilm. Like if you look at her filmography for a female producer in Hollywood, like it's just like holy shit. It's like damn, like she was involved in some of the greatest like sci-fi movies, action movies, whatever it is. So I don't know. I mean, I would bang Kathleen Kennedy. So there's that.
Listen, it's not who would, it's like who wouldn't you bang? It's a question. Right?
Gabe, well, we know Gabe wouldn't bang Denzel Washington. So
Denzel Washington.
Of course I wouldn't go with Denzel.
He sounded a little concerned over your answer right now.
Why? No,
this would explain your hatred for Philadelphia.
Denzel's a little bit too old for me at this point.
You want some of the young calf. You want John David Washington.
You don't like
David Washington? I don't like what?
Fences? You didn't watch that? You didn't watch Fences?
With Viola Davis?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
He didn't watch it. When he says, I didn't care for it, that means he didn't watch it. I'm telling you right now. Gabe is lying on this show. He is lying to the people. You cannot sit there and tell me that Training Day isn't one of the best monologues. I mean, it's come on.
I fucking told you at the beginning. I thought Training Day is his best fucking movie. Between Training Day and He Got Game are two of his best movies. Now, everything else that he has done, he plays like he's part of some fucking judicial system. He's a lawyer, or he's a cop, or he's a detective, or he's a fucking bodyguard. It's the same fucking character for over fucking 20 films.
Bullshit. We're gonna have a
It's
Denzel
not bullshit.
marathon.
Look at all these fucking movies. There's like
We're
fucking
gonna have a
5
Denzel
Man
marathon.
on Fires.
We're gonna
all
do
this other fucking shit.
We're gonna do an
Listen,
episode.
He knows what he likes to play.
Listen,
He's good. He's good at it.
What? Playing a fucking cop? There's no
Let him
fucking
be an
range.
equalizer, right? Let him make fucking 10 of those movies.
There's like fucking there's like 6 equalizers and like 5 Man on Fires. Like what the fuck?
This is coming from the man that sits here with a straight face and tells you to watch bad movies, people. He tells you to watch bad movies and he encourages it. I sat in the theater. He was smiling with glee as Morbius was happening.
Morbius
is happening. I got up. I come back, and he's one of the people clapping. He stood up. He stood on his feet, and he clapped for the after credits.
With his shirt off. Who wouldn't clap at that?
In Gabe's defense, we all have like one popular actor we don't like, right?
I don't know if I have one. I don't think I have one. I'm trying to think, mate.
Jared Leto. His people can do no wrong.
Jared Leto.
He likes everybody except Jared Leto.
Fuck Jared Leto. That guy's a piece of shit. He's actually a creep.
Dude, he's top 3 Joker, man.
Oh my god. Can we? I totally forget he was the Joker sometimes. like it just slips my mind that like, oh yeah, at some point we had Jared Leto.
He's like top 2 Jokers, bro. He's like,
for me, I hate Ben Affleck.
See?
Wait, why?
He's just, I hate him. He can go back doing.
But Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
You know, you brought up the Joker. That Joker is so terrible, but for some reason, I can remember a lot of his dialogue. A lot of the things Jared Leto does in that movie.
So he made a fucking memorable performance.
It's a memorable but bad performance.
No.
It's like It's like Jim Carrey doing a Cholo impression.
Hey, he's bad, but that one, Snyder Cut release clip, that was actually pretty decent. If we had that Joker.
Oh, his weird where he talks about giving Batman a hand job. That's his whole scene.
But hey, don't forget, Batman's a fascist. All right,
give you a reach around. You guys should do a Flopbuster on all the Superman movies.
Oh, best one, Superman 4 with Christopher Reeve, of course.
Oh, the Quest for
Man of Steel.
Wasn't the villain in that? I think is like Nuclear Man or something.
Nuclear Man.
That would be a cool episode, Connor. I would be down for that. I might buy that box set. So if I do, I'll convince Gabe to watch all 4, and we'll do that. Maybe we'll watch Man of Steel.
Just give me the digital code, so that way I don't have.
I'll give you the digital codes.
Yes.
We'll talk about Superman Returns. That's a movie that I'm interested if it's good, if it holds up. My thoughts are now because I haven't seen that in who knows how long.
Listen, all I remember of those 70s Supermans, I think it's like the most iconic, is like Superman flying over the White House with the fucking American flag. They're like,
he put the flag back on top.
At the end of every movie, he's like thanking the president. Have a good night, Mr. President, and he like flies off into the fucking sun.
Oh, I thought you were saying he fists the president.
Oh, maybe he does.
Hey, speaking of Superman, we got General Zod. He's in Phantom Menace. General Zod.
Can you imagine if those movies came out like today and like it's Superman and like it's like Trump thanking him for all his hard work? Nope, Mr. President, thank you. And he like flies off and like that would be crazy.
First of all, Trump and Superman couldn't be friends, all right? I mean, because Superman's an illegal alien. So, Trump was against illegal aliens.
Yeah, but they both want to make America great again.
That's true. In this alternate timeline,
which one wins though? Make America great or anti illegal aliens? Because Superman came in without no fucking papers.
He did.
Fucking lands in Kansas.
That's true. That is nobody answered for that.
Is there an answer for that?
I do love.
You build the wall.
I love the original movie. So if we get to that would be cool. I love the first one. I like the second one a whole lot. I haven't seen the third and fourth one probably since I was a kid. I haven't seen those in a long time. The 4K box set. Yeah. I had that in my cart. I think I'm gonna pick it up. I've heard a lot of good things. That would be a lot of fun. But yeah, I do want to get back to
Star Wars.
A very important topic about you clapping during Morbius.
Oh,
it happened during the end credits. Everybody was cheering for the dumb cameo thing, and Gabe was the loudest clapper of them all. There was a tear in his eye, and
cameo was it the whole?
Oh, I think Spider-Man or whatever, like the Michael Keaton thing at the end of the movie. And I stood up and said, I said, why are you people clapping? Why? And Gabe was the loudest clapper. And he tries to hide that he doesn't like the movie. But he definitely likes the movie. In fact, he might love it.
I don't love it. I mean, I think it's fine for what it was. But that's about it.
So,
huh?
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't done any Morbin time.
Do you want me to send you the digital code?
It's on Netflix right now.
Watch it. You should watch it. It's really boring.
Listen, it's not the greatest. I will say this. I was excited to see it. I was super excited because I loved Morbius, the comic book, as a kid. And I told Tony that at the time. I was super excited. And as we're watching it, like, I was embarrassed that I made Tony and Victoria come out to the theaters and watch this movie. To be honest,
I did not want to see this in theaters.
Like, we came out, and at the time we were doing like instant out of the theater reactions between the two of us. I struggled because like anybody who watches the show, we fucking hate to like bash on movies, right? Like, we don't like bashing on movies.
Yeah.
And so like I struggled to say some positive things. Like, if you ask me about Morbius, I still say the best thing is to shortlist Jared Leto, right? I don't say anything else about the movie, right? I don't say, the fucking acting or the cinematography. Like, I don't say anything was good about that movie except shirtless Jared Leto, because that's like the only.
It's because Gabe wishes he was one of the 17-year-olds Jared Leto DMs.
Who wouldn't want to be DM'd by Jared Leto?
Oh my god! All right, I'm cutting the joke right there. I'm cutting it right there. That's it. It's as far as we go with that. But
Above 18.
Of course.
Of course.
But yeah, no. Back to the super. Yeah, Connor. If we get to it, man, you gotta watch it. Or maybe come on. Who knows? We'll talk about those movies. There's a lot of things we want to do. But this was a lot of fun. Overall, I think we were all pretty positive on the prequels. I think I don't know, Julian. They still hold up for you? You still like them?
Yeah, I watch them every May 4th.
Well, we'll watch it. We'll watch it on. It's
like, do you watch all of them on May 4th, or you just like, is there one specific one that you watch on May 4th?
I'll skim through a couple of them, but mostly I watch Empire Strikes Back. That's my favorite Star Wars of all of them.
I feel like that's the go-to. That was, as a kid, that was mine. That felt like the most Star Wars. Like, it had all the things you like in Star Wars. It's what's the planet? The snow planet. Is that Hoth, or the one where Luke? Yeah. I mean, there's that stuff. The training with Yoda.
I've always thought that Darth Vader was one of the most interesting villains in movie history. So what I do love about the prequels is that you do see his slide into the dark side. And I feel like for anybody, it would be so easy to just join the dark side. That seduction to the dark side.
They don't let you masturbate in the Jedi. You are not allowed to masturbate. Let's get that out the way. You are not allowed to masturbate.
Dude, like, I would have been fucking dark side from the very beginning.
Only the strong survive when it comes to the Jedi.
Like, this is like the conversation I would have.
I would not masturbate. I would be forced masturbating, okay? They won't even know. I'll be sitting on my council chair. They don't fucking know.
Julian's like laying down, hands behind his head, just letting, using the force motion. Like, eyebrows going
just like that.
No, but like, would you guys join the dark side? Would you like join in? Like, that's the question I have. Like, you find out that your father is Darth Vader. Like, are you joining your father into the dark side, or are you just gonna like be like a little bitch about it? But like, oh no, I don't want to join the dark side.
I'm Sith all the way.
See, I'm with you.
I see. I wouldn't join either though, because I'm like, well, what's the perks of being a Jedi? And then like they could sell me a bunch of things. I'm like, I'm good. What's the perks of being the Sith? I'm like, too depressing. I don't want to do that either. Like, I'm gonna join up with Han and Chewie, ride the Millennium Falcon, steal some shit.
Gonna be a smuggler.
Yeah, that's.
But see, I think what these movies get wrong is like there's always like the battle between good and evil, and I think it's for any movie that's a battle of good and evil. There's always a fucking gray area. Like, it's not all good.
Well,
and it's not all bad.
That's a lot of what The Last Jedi is about.
There's a gray area between the both. Like, you could be a fucking amazing humanitarian, but at the same time be a fucking chronic masturbator. Doesn't mean you're a bad person.
There's gonna be a lot, like, people are gonna come into this episode just like, man, masturbation has been brought up like 7 times. Masturbation.
They have those. I don't know what they're called. They're not Jedi. They're not Sith. They're just kind of like in between people. They have like fucking gray lightsabers instead of, it's not blue, it's not red, it's just gray.
Oh, that's interesting.
I never knew about that.
Isn't there like in the Mandalorian, what's the saber that they have in that called? The gray saber, whatever that is.
That's the dark saber, but that was a Mandalorian who was a Jedi though.
Okay. Yeah, that stuff was cool. In Mandalorian season 2, all that stuff that they had going on with that. There's another character I love in these movies that had like that was force sensitive, but I don't know if he wasn't a Jedi or anything, but he's just force sensitive. It was the Donnie Yen character in Rogue One. Has one of my favorite Star Wars moments.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I am one with the Force. The Force is with me, and he's got the staff, and he just beats up all the stormtroopers. I'm like, oh man, it's Donnie Yen.
That's another IP movie. That's just a little.
Yeah, that's just like him. He's playing his character from the movies he usually does. But he rules. So it was cool seeing him in Star Wars.
Yeah, dude, Rogue One is so underrated, man. That whole fucking how everyone just fucking dies. It's just.
That movie, like, is a really good war movie, and I feel like it's like, even as a Star Wars movie, you don't have to be like a huge fan. Like, you could come into it, and I really enjoy it. Like, I really enjoy that one. The only thing that's kind of off-putting is like the dead puppet Peter Cushing, the CGI Peter. It's so weird when they do that to dead actors. Like, I don't like, just get a look-alike, man. Like, it just looks fucking weird. Like, I'm watching this dead man like clown around and act before me, but I know he's fucking dead.
I mean, they did that. They did the lookalike for Revenge of the Sith.
They did.
Ending.
I was gonna point that out. I've never caught that before, and they don't. It's like 2 seconds. You see a lookalike that looks like Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
In this, which was I thought that was a little neat thing they had. Another thing I forgot was Chewie being Revenge of the Sith. I remember the Wookiees like being in it.
Oh yeah.
I forgot specifically Chewbacca helps Yoda in that one moment. But Connor says is a really cool, gray area force used called Raven and the stuff that's no longer canon. He's sick. Interesting.
I didn't know about a so-called Raven.
Raven.
That's so Raven?
That's so Raven.
That's so Raven.
I know there's Darth Raven, but I thought he was I don't know.
Listen, guys, but I do have a good question for the both of you. When are we gonna get the band back together? I just when are we gonna go and get the band back together? Like when are you coming back to Chicago?
3 minutes to close?
3 minutes to close. Once 3 minutes to close, doing a reunion tour.
Tony will be in Chicago on the 18th of July for maybe an hour.
Oh yeah, for an hour I will for a layover.
For an hour.
For a layover.
For his layover.
Or Julian, when are we getting together to do a duet? It's been a long time coming since like October. I haven't seen you physically, and you're like 45 minutes away.
We can do it whenever, man. You know, every Thursday night's karaoke night.
Yeah, this guy does karaoke every Thursday.
I know Friday and Saturday it's I forgot what that place is called, but what's that bar called that we go to over there?
It's the Old Town Inn one.
Old Town Inn. Old Town Inn.
Yeah.
There you go. You guys have a little mini reunion. Maybe find a temporary member in my time being. And
No, we're just FaceTime Tony.
We'll FaceTime you win.
Sounds good. I'm excited to do it. Anything else you two want to talk about before we start heading out?
Power Rangers. That new movie.
Wait, what about Power Rangers? What the fuck are you talking about? Was there any Power?
I mean, I can talk
Once the Ranger, always a Ranger. What's the title of the new Power Rangers movie?
Oh, I think you mentioned this. There was like Gabe, did you watch this? It was like some. Okay.
Power Rangers, once a Ranger, always a Ranger.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, something along those.
Yeah, it was so cheesy. I did not enjoy it.
It's like an hour special or something like that.
It's
right?
like an hour special, maybe a little bit less. It's like it felt like an extended episode of like the Power Rangers TV show from like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
But like with 50-year-old like middle-aged people, or
yeah, like 50-year-old, like fucking the Blue Rangers, like 50, fucking Billy and Zach, they're all like 50. Obviously, you know, R.I.P. Jason David Frank was dead, so there was mentions of him. There was like a Green Ranger cameo, but you never saw him. Amy Jo Johnson, who plays the Pink Ranger, wasn't in it because she just didn't like the story, from what I heard. They asked her, and she was like, "No, I'm okay." She didn't. She's like, "I'll do other things down the line." She's like, "But this one isn't for me." So they brought in a Pink Ranger from another TV show.
No, it was when they replaced the Pink Ranger a couple like seasons into Power Rangers, and it was the blonde chick.
It was a blonde chick.
From the Turbo show. See, I have a brief history of Power Rangers when I'm like 9, 8-ish, where I'm like, oh, I love Power Rangers. So I'm like, I love Dino Thunder or Wildstorm, like Mighty Morphin, Turbo. That was like everything in that area of like, you know, from 2000 and whatever to 05. Everything after that, since then,
I don't know nothing.
Besides the movie.
Mighty Morphin was like 94, so that was like before you were even born.
But they were still airing that on TV. They were still airing that every Saturday morning, and the movie was still pretty much on cable like all the time.
And then they didn't bring the original Red Ranger in. I mean, what I do like about this is like the tribute that they had for like the original Yellow Ranger, Trini, because she died. The actress died like early in her career, tragically, car accidents. So like they sort of did like a little tribute to her in this movie.
I just want to point it out here, guys. Gabe likes the fucking Power Rangers, so I rest my case in any argument that we've ever had on here. Gabe,
But you say
he's
there's
still,
like
he's
something
still,
wrong with the
he's
Power
still,
Rangers?
he's still. I feel gross talking about the Power Rangers right now. In fact, I feel a little sickened that we're talking about it.
Hey, you leave the Power Rangers alone, okay?
I didn't mind that reboot thing, the new movie, the
What?
one the 2017 one. I thought that was good.
That one needed a sequel.
That was a fun movie. Needed a sequel. Good cast, good young cast. Kind of got a Breakfast Club thing going on. But I guess Julian's is the new one. It's not good. 50-year-old Power Rangers, not a good idea.
No, it was so cheesy.
Cheesy.
Dude, it was too much with the whole like 50-year-olds. You know, it's morphin' time.
It's just like, you guys are old. Relax. Like, this is sad. Why are you doing this? Go home.
Just a flying Volkswagen Beetle.
A flying Volkswagen, yeah. I was like, wait, when did they have a flying car? I didn't remember that.
Oh, now this is interesting. Now I want to see it. But there you have it. That was our episode on Star Wars.
Star Wars and everything else.
Star Wars. We
and
talked about
Tony's
Star Wars, masturbation, Gabe's hate of Denzel Washington. Won't we talk about Mamma Mia? I think we will. I think we'll talk about it. Those are really good movies. We're going to talk about it. ABBA. Everybody loves ABBA.
Everyone loves
ABBA. Waterloo. Dancing Queen. We're going to run it all through. That's a great movie.
I don't even know who ABBA is.
You know who ABBA is. He's acting like he doesn't know. But we covered it all. And whatever you guys want to see next episode, just write in. Write in questions. What do you want to see on here? What do you want to see us talk about? And we'll bring back Julian in a timely manner. Whatever he begs to come on, because he begged to come on this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, write to us. Send us a picture. Do whatever. Pigeon carrier.
Yes, whatever you want. Send a raven or an owl. You can send an owl to deliver the message, like the Harry Potter movies. Whatever it is.
Morse code. I'm old enough. I know how to do Morse code. You can send Morse code.
I just want it to be known here, though. You heard a lot of crazy things from Gabe, including Force Ghost jerk-off stuff, loving Morbius, hating Denzel Washington, and wishing that he was getting DM'd by Jared Leto. So I just want to leave you with that because, that's a lot of suspect things that he said in this episode. But thank you, Julian, for coming on. Thank you for everybody who watched tonight, wrote us in, like Connor and Travis. Yeah, thanks guys for checking this out. Gabe from earlier, GT. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, and
go watch Hypnotic and drink Hypnotic at the same time.
Go watch Hypnotic, and we will see you guys next week, where we will figure out what exactly we're talking about because I have no idea yet.
Contracts.
Yeah, Kylo Ren's cool.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
The Kylo Ren is cool.
Did you say the Taliban?
Kylo Ren.
Oh, I thought he said the Taliban is cool. Okay, I guess we'll cut it. The Taliban is not cool.